g'day everyone, it's Warren here from NQ Explorers. We're back in the Lost Valley again. This is our third expedition. Previously we've made 6 videos in here in different parts. We try to keep them about 20 minutes each. So we've got another 3.5 days in here. We're camped out in the bush. You can see the valley down there behind me. That's the main part of the Lost Valley. And we're finding encampments either side of it. On the other side of the valley is the hotel and what we're calling the post office. We've since found out there's a baker in here and a couple of butchers. And we have found some areas where there's old bones, so quite possibly that was one of the butcher sites. But another 3 days of adventures. I hope you're enjoying our Lost Valley series. We'll be back shortly when we get some relics on the board. Well, it's warmed up a bit now. It's probably above 0 degrees, but what a glorious winter's day in the Lost Valley. Well, here's the setup I'm using this morning. AT Max with a Nell Thunder coil, which is a 14.5 inch double D. Tons of depth penetration with that thing. I've just dug an old lead washer from a measured 9 inches down in really hard packed clay, so it was no trouble at all on a small target. I've got it in Pro Custom mode and I've got 30 points of iron dialed in. Colin's on a Pro with a 5x8, and Ross has got a Max with a Nell Sharpshooter 9.5 inch. So that's the gear we're using today. I'm going to film this one live. Lighting's a little bit dappled in the forest, so I don't know how it's going to look, and I've got this great big 14 inch core, but it's a solid 83. As you can see, I've started the dig. This will be interesting. A lot of iron in the spot as I come down this hill. Oh, I might have it out. And I think I've got a lead nugget. There you go.
Okay, this was my first find for the day. I thought it was going to be like an axe or for splitting blocks or something like that, but there's no handle in it or anything, so it looks like it might just be a steel wedge. I'm not quite sure what it'd be used for. Oh, that's interesting. I'll take a photo of it and see if I can find anything about it. I've just got Ross to have a bit of a look at this. It looks like a steel wedge.
Very big one.
Yeah.
I found a few. I found a few thinner ones than this. And I found a really long one as well. Now it could be for dropping trees, wedges for going in a big tree to push a big tree once they've cut in. But
so what they hammer that in?
And yeah, hammered it in.
Oh, I see. So it's not something that has a handle.
Flared.
Oh, okay.
So it's just stuck in, but maybe rock breaking too, for cracking rock, because I can't imagine them carrying many of those around the the bush. And yeah, it's very distinct punched.
It's got a number
mark there. I can't make anything out from it though.
Yeah.
Something's definitely punched in there though.
Yeah, it looked like 4 or 5 numbers when I cleaned it up a bit with water.
Yeah. So I'm not sure what they used them for, but they did have a lot of them and they lost them. So if they were dropping trees with them, you can imagine them falling out, and that's the end of them. Or splitting. Maybe splitting for logs, fencing logs, but again, just so heavy.
Looks like it's been well used. It's not much left on the end.
Something's happened to it there. It's not just rust that's done that. Very good.
Okay, so this is my next find. It's an old thimble. A bit worse for wear. A bit squashed. But the side of it's really doesn't look too bad actually. Just the top. The top's a bit coming apart, but actually, yeah, it's quite lovely. So that's my second thimble from this side. I think I found one on the first or second visit here. Okay, this is quite an interesting find. It's looks like it's a piece of steel, and it's part of a dray. Yeah, a little bit broken on the end there, but that's a loop in there by the look of it. And this one's made of steel. I think Warren had found one earlier in the when we've come up here previously, and I think his was made of brass or something like that.
Deeper than that, yeah. 81, 82 now.
Oh, sounding better. So
Better.
it was 77 or something,
Yeah.
and now it's got a little bit of depth that recovered, and it's gone to 80, 81, 81, 82.
Yep.
Oh, it's out. What is it?
Oh. Roofing washer.
How many is that?
I lost count.
There's a nice little spot here. It's just warming up a little bit now. It's getting near midday, so we've all been separated, but we're in contact by two-way. Just wandering back to the cars, have a cup of tea and a bit of lunch. And I might change coils. This big coil's great, but I'm getting into concentrations of iron and target clutters that it just can't deal with. Great depth in the open and great for searching areas and discovering new areas, but when I go back into those old fire pit areas or the known house sites we've detected before, I struggle with this big coil. So I might just put the standard coil back on the max. That's a good compromise between sensitivity and coverage. So go back and have a bit of lunch and we're back out here. I'll show you this spot on the way back to lunch. This is typical of what we're discovering in this Lost Valley, spread out all over the place. These, what we call them, fire rings. I guess they're the remnants of old stone chimneys and that sort of thing. You can see it's just native rock, bush rock. And there's lots and lots of iron targets all around it. We picked a few coins here and there in the last visit. We're doing okay this trip too. Ross has got a few coins. I haven't got one yet, but Colleen and Ross have both got silver. But there's plenty of time yet. We've got all the rest of today and all tomorrow. Just a beautiful spot to be out detecting. Well, not far from that structure I just showed you. It's a find that indicates it was probably a building. It's a back off a doorknob, I'm pretty sure. The front's gone and there's the brass fitting that went over the shaft for the lock. I'd say that's what that is. Well, the light's starting to fade in our second afternoon. Colleen and Ross are over sifting what we believe to be a rubbish dump near the hotel cellar. I just got this. Doesn't look very exciting, but it's a shot pistol ball. Lead. Little lead ball, hit something. That was a 66. Righto, we're going live. I'm about a foot, 2 feet from that pistol ball. Got a pretty good 75, 76, and it's fairly consistent. So, got them here somewhere. I'll just open all this around, strip it a bit, and we'll see if get a cleaner shot on it. .75, 76. Sounds like it's right in the middle of that double D there. You might not have dropped the big Nell Thunder and I've just gone back to the standard max coil, the 11.5 DD. Because there's just too much trash in some of these spots. This nice loamy soil here, we'll just loosen it all up. See if we can lift out what's in there. It's a harmonica read then, but maybe what the target is. Alright. I did see a harmonica reading, that's what the target is. Nice 76 repeatable. That's a little like a mouth harmonica. The other ones are finding a sort of big rhombus shape squeeze box reeds. In the fading light, I'm back in the hotel site. Colin's over to our left with the AT Pro. And I just got a lovely little silver Threepence. It was a 77 repeatable. Right near where we got those coins. Ross got a couple of coins here yesterday. there'll be more in here. Little silver. Vicky. I'll give it a clean and we'll get a date. Well, I've just cleaned it. There it is. It's 1874 silver threepence. So that's, I think there might be 4 coins we've got out of the old hotel, which we think is the front porch. Nice.
I'm just coming over to see Ross's find here. He thinks he may have another spoon. He's originally found one up a little bit further, and just a couple of moments ago. Where'd you find the other one? Here, Ross?
Yeah, another one just there.
All right. Found one here, and just going to check up there.
Nice little.
Oh, that is a nice one, isn't it?
Shape.
Yeah, all still intact. Lovely. Oh, well,
I think I got another one here.
We'll have a look at this dig then. Same numbers?
Yep, it's got a little bit lower number at one end, but
yeah, but it's got that long signal
long
that you were.
to it. Proved wrong again.
That's part of the game, isn't it?
Indeed. Again, looks a bit different.
So you've didn't you find a spoon a bit earlier today, or was that yesterday?
Yes, yeah, another spoon earlier today as well.
Right. So spoons and musket balls mainly today.
Indeed. Oh, Steve.
No, it looks. Oh,
Still deeper.
I might just.
Could be anything. It's still the same number. It's got a bit higher.
Deep.
That's jumping up into the 70s now.
It's quite a crisp signal, though, isn't it? You know,
Yeah, it seems a bit more compact now. I'm down closer to it, so. Ooh. It's still down there.
Is there a couple of different things in there, or is it all the one tone?
Don't know.
We'll see.
There's a tree root down there too.
Yeah.
Something there. Ah, might be it. So
It's out of the hole.
nearly definitely not a spoon.
Hasn't fallen back in the hole, has it?
Yep,
Yeah, it looks like it
has.
Oh, what? A musket ball, another one. So that's not really round, is it? Oh yeah, yours is. I've had something before round. That wasn't really very round. I wondered if it was a musket ball.
I've been a fired one.
Oh, okay.
The other ones.
That's bigger than the other one,
little pistol balls I got.
Yeah.
They're definitely not fired. You can still see the moulding, mark on them. So they've dropped, but.
Oh, okay.
Found musket balls. They were.
Oh, okay, so mine may have been
doing
fired.
something here.
Yeah.
Also found a lot of the lead, just molten lead nuggets.
Yeah.
Around this area, so maybe they were making them here. And that's why we're finding a lot of.
Oh yeah. A little bit of a factory going, you think?
Yeah.
Okay, so this here's there's a road over there. This was quite close to the road. It's a barrel band. It's a very you could tell it was an iron signal, but I didn't realise it was going to be that big. And there we go. Nice and close to the road too. So this target, I've just covered the hole in there. Was a shotgun cartridge, and I've just cleaned it a little. You can see it says ELEY London, and it's a 12 gauge shotgun, and we're think it says gaslight or something down here. But that certainly looks old. Very nice.
Well, it's our second morning in here at the Lost Valley again, and -6 degrees this morning. We're not accustomed to this. So I've just driven in, we lit a nice fire and had a cup of tea. Colin's just giving Ross's dad there, James, instruction on the AT Max. He's going to go out today and see if he can find a few relics with us, which is pretty awesome on his own property. We're finding some wonderful history in this valley. It's just, and we found out a little bit more information about it and what was actually going on here from some old newspaper articles. So I'll detail that later, but in the meantime we're going to go for a bit of a wander, a loop up around the mountain, and see if we can find some more camps and old house sites, or perhaps even some public sites where we've discovered that there are actually 5 public houses in here. There was a butcher, a baker, several butchers, and a couple of hotels. So that's why we're finding this wonderful run of relics from like the late 1800s, from even the 1840s onwards actually. So we'll get into it. Okay, I'm on the AT Pro today with a standard search core. I've just dug a couple of fragments of squeeze box reed, something out of the hole here, probably high tone, 77, 78. It was pretty whispery on the proportional audio. I thought it was going to be quite deep, so I'm going to say that it's going to be quite small now, because it was only about 3 inches down. Going to be a little bit of brass or something, or what's this? Oh, it's a here's a little bit of brass. It's the end cap off something. Oh no, it's a saddle stud. Little tiny stud off some leather work. They rung up beautifully. So proportional audio was quite soft. Target wasn't deep, it was small.
Okay, this was the next signal. It's another shotgun bullet, a 12 gauge, and I'm not sure if it's going to focus very well, but I think at the bottom of it, it says, where is it? On the bottom here. I think it says ICI-ANZ or something like that. But we'll have a better look at it later. But it certainly looks like a very old one anyway. Yeah, nice solid signal. Nice solid 45. Okay, so I've finally found the target. It's a boot heel. Still got the tacks in it. So there's probably about a dozen boot heels. A dozen boot heels were found in this area now.
I just got this old hobnail boot heel from a very deep dig, which is behind me. It was about 9 inches down, still got the nails in it. Look at the piece of glass that came up with it, look how thick that is. It's a ripper. So I'm on the trail of some old timers up this hillside. This one's not in ideal light conditions, but we'll go a little bit live, a little bit I say, because I've already started digging. Hit that lovely high tone on the AT Pro. It's jumping from 77 to 82. Not real consistent. So they've got a little bit of doubt now they've dug it, but anyway, it's not iron. Right in the middle of the hole there. Just loosen around it if I can with the roots and lift the soil away from it if we can. Just in there. A bit tricky digging with the roots. Just ease it out. Okay. And so it's going to be this, a lead nugget. Look at that. I found a lot of lead in this particular spot. This is where I've got that great big copper 1840s penny a couple of months ago. That's a nice lead nugget, hence the high tone, but a little bit of tone roll and varying target ID sort of gave that away a little bit there. Righto, well I didn't dig this one live and I should have. I think it's a coin. It was a 76. I had to move that old gnarled log there, that little log, and there was a scratchy signal and then it got better and I can see the edge of a coin here. Let's have a look at him. Going to be a Britannia penny, I'd say, with a target ID like that. That's nice. We've found quite a, well, not quite a few, but several coins in this area. I mean, people didn't have that much money in the 1850s and 1860s. It'll be interesting to get a date. Most of the coins are over this side, are in the 1860s, 70s range. But I'll give it a clean. Okay, so Ross has found a bit of interesting wildlife activity. Recent too, eh?
Yeah, recent. This will be this morning. Echidna's had a big feed there. Been right into it, but there's still grubs and things.
So it's not just white ants, it's just wood borers
right
and
there, so he's probably been just into that for the white ants. Yeah, it's definitely white ants.
oh yeah, look at that.
Holes there.
Yeah, the smooth hole where the white ants have been eating it. He's
He's
got powerful claws, haven't they?
Torn
Just
the
tore it to
hole up
bits.
to shreds, and that's solid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's probably sat up in there watching us.
Yeah. We'll keep an eye out for him. Let you know if we find him.
I'm sure he's got plenty to eat in here too. He's not going to run short of food, is he?
Nah.
That's a great bit of... there's all sorts of stuff in here. There's koalas, echidnas. You saw a big roo this morning, right, hopping through.
Okay, so the camera sort of, the camera stopped, the data card was full, but I think I've missed the revealing of what I found. Was this lovely 1875 penny. It's a little bit worn by the look of it, but yeah, still a lovely find. That's what I was hoping for. Okay, this is, I think it's going to be a pretty good find. I'm just giving Ross's dad a few lessons here on how to use the detector. And he's picked up this signal here. We've just dug it. And, oh, I thought it was a coin, but it's a button. Yeah. Oh, they're still nice anyway. I thought it was going to be his first coin. Never mind, we'll continue on till he finds one.
We need to get the dogs' radios. Well, this is 76, just got this nice little brass equipment hook. It's looking like a knapsack or a pack sort of hook. Well, it could be off a saddlebag, but it's definitely brass, very high quality, and rang up really high. That was identical target ID to a Britannia penny. Here's our next find. It's an almost pristine Paris buckle. Probably have the date on it too. If it does, I'll subtitle it. Well, this is the permanent water holes coming down the hill. 6 months ago I washed the cricket buckle and that was full of water. As you can see, these permanent springs are in serious trouble. This drought is really biting. It's been a long time since there's been good rain up here, and I mean, you could get water out of that. You dug a hole in that mud, you get free water, but that doesn't help the wildlife. They're all suffering. There's wallaby skeletons around the place, and I guess they've all moved on to where they can find permanent water, but desperately need this drought to break.
Okay, this was quite a nice surprise here. A giant sized musket ball. Yeah, it's bigger than the ones I found earlier. But yeah, it was probably about 6 inches down.
Would that go inside like that?
Yeah, you just across the coil, and if there's anything in it, you just one hand and just Yeah. Just like this.
That's
Nothing.
it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Across it that way.
Yeah. And if you find, if it signals, then you just halve it until you find which one it is.
It's not there.
I'm going to try the throw pointer. Oh yeah, there it is. So just up a bit further. Somewhere around there. No? Yep, in that hand. And just halve it.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, you found it? Oh, good. What is it?
I think it's a...
Looks a bit bell-shaped or something.
A rivet, isn't it?
I don't know.
Is it a rivet?
Oh, it is too, yes.
Yeah.
A rivet, and it's got a bit of dirt around it.
Yeah. A rivet, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Did you see the last find I made?
Oh, what was that?
I don't know. It's not a shotgun cartridge, is it?
No. It's not the end of a
Crop?
yeah, a crop,
Yeah.
a riding crop or something like that.
It could be.
Yeah.
That's what I think it's like the one Ross found a bit, but
Yeah,
Ross is
that's what
pretty.
it looks like.
This one
Actually, has that got writing around the edge?
probably has.
I think it has, you know.
If it has, it might be
Yeah, around the edge of
very
it.
interesting, that writing.
So what
Yeah.
what signal was that on, do you remember?
Yeah, that is on about 65,
Oh, yeah.
70.
Yeah.
It was 65, 70. Oh yeah, that's got a pattern in the middle of it.
Yeah, I thought it had a pattern. Yeah.
It's very interesting, that one.
Yeah, that'd probably clean up nicely and find out what it is.
That one there is an interesting one because it's sort of not a sort of rivet you'd find. It's got a really round head on it.
Oh, it has too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which is unusual.
Hmm.
You'd wonder what it was. But
Yeah. And then yeah, that was a nice find with the
yeah.
with the little catch on the end of it.
Yeah, nice. The nice things those.
Yeah.
That's good because you can see the horse and
Yeah.
and that's where they used
Where
to
it's
snig things on a turnbuckle. Just
Okay.
a different calibre.
yeah.
one and two.
I think it's okay. This target's a shell, but it's not a 12 gauge, and we're not quite sure what gauge it is, but it's smaller than the 12 gauge. But it looks quite old. We might be able to clean it up a little bit later. Clean it up a little bit better, and see what writing is actually on it.
Well, it's early afternoon now, but we haven't got much light left because today is the winter solstice. Shortest day of the year. It's getting very cold again, actually. I've moved into another area up above the hotel site, which is in that direction, near that native cherry tree, that dark green tree. And what I'm doing, just as a method of hunting, I've got the iron audio on because I want to hear iron. We've all been doing this on this trip, actually. We want to know where the extent of the iron is because as soon as you start picking up iron targets, scrap iron, you know there's a little house or perhaps a fire pit in the vicinity. So that's how we chase the good targets, is letting the iron lead us into the sites that will detect thoroughly. And there's not much in between them. I haven't had a target for about 15 minutes. So I've turned the iron on. Let's see if I can pick up a bit of iron. So just by way of illustration there, feel that iron. That's where I walked into it here. Lots of iron, and as you can see there's an old chimney base or a fire ring of some description. Interesting over there, there's a native cherry tree, that's that dark green one, and a big hole in the ground next to it. I want to go over and investigate that. Well, this is an unusual find. It's a quarter of a penny. Look at that beautiful green patina. It actually says penny on it. Britannia's all chopped up, so that's half a halfpenny, I guess. I don't know what they're doing chopping up pennies. Well, like something you'd find in a World War II trench art situation. But there we go, it's an old Britannia penny. But yeah, not really spendable anymore. I was just thinking about that quarter penny I just found. Well, I guess it's a farthing since it's a quarter of a penny. Maybe they were short on small change, so they cut a penny in quarters. Anyway, we'll never know. And here's my next target. It's a beautiful Paris buckle in Great Neck. That's a ripper. Well, it's starting to get really cold now. The sun's about to go over the horizon. Going to be another -5 tonight. We're not actually camping out in the bush. We've retreated to the warmth of a motel. But we've lit the fire up there. We're going to go up and have a cup of tea. So come up with us and have a cup of tea, and then we'll have a look at some of the finds we've got. Well, we're about to wrap it up. That was the end of our third day in the Lost Valley. You've either just watched part 7 or part 8. I'm not sure how much footage I've actually got in here. It's been great fun though. Some great finds. The first afternoon we came in, Ross got that a shilling and a penny out of the old hotel, and that was Ross's first shilling ever, which is fantastic to see. Old Victorian silver. Colin got that, well, I'll call it a patriotic punched sixpence, where someone had been wearing Queen Victoria around their neck with a nail hole through the date. No good for us, but great for them. And then we got a couple of pennies and lots of other fantastic relics all through the place. Still lots more to discover. Ross has been actually running around marking spots with the GPS, so I actually draw some sort of map and correlate it with Google Earth and see the extent of this colonial settlement. And it was large in area. And apart from the target concentrations where we're getting lots of good targets, you get the random drops in the middle of nowhere, which is just always a lot of fun. That's why I was using that big coil initially. Gave up on that after a while because when you get to the target clutters, the big 14.5-inch Nell, way too big. But anyway, I'll wrap it up. Too much talking. Thanks for watching, everybody, and happy fossicking. Bye for now.